Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today I'm going to be trying out the brand new ColourPop collection called Sonic Blooms. This palette, or this collection I should say, released last weekend on Ulta Beauty. You guys know I'm a sucker for ColourPop, so I had to pick it up. I love the packaging. It is that embossed packaging, and this is a 12-pan eyeshadow palette available exclusively on the Ulta Beauty website. Now, this is going to be, I guess, the fall palette. This did come out around the same time last year as the Garden Variety eyeshadow palette, which also has that similar embossed packaging, although this one was released on the ColourPop website and not the Ulta Beauty website. In case you're wondering what this one looks like, here's the color story. Really pretty color story, but they're definitely not the same. They just have a little bit of similarities. Now, the other palette that I wanted to compare it to really quick, because I think one of y'all mentioned this in the comment section when I posted that the collection had launched on Ulta, was the last ColourPop launch at Ulta, and this was in July. Was it July or June? Either late June or early July, and this is the, what is it, the Cabana Club eyeshadow palette. So let me just hold them up next to each other. So here are the palettes together so you can see what they look like. Kind of similar, not really. So I think this one, the Sonic Blooms, is definitely more fall vibes versus the Cabana Club, which has that nice teal shimmer shade at the top and that dark blue at the bottom, as well as that fuchsia. I definitely get summer vibes out of this one and definitely more fall vibes out of this one. But definitely wanted to show you guys that comparison really quick in case you were just wondering how similar they are. I definitely think they'll be great complements for one another, but I'll let you be the judge whether you feel you need this palette or not. Also released in the collection were the cheek dews. Now, I went ahead and picked one up, even though I feel like I'm not gonna like this, and it's a serum blush, and I do love like cream liquid style blushes. I love cream blush more than I do liquid blush, and I've heard mixed reviews over this, so that's why I've never tried one out, but we're gonna go for it today. The shade I picked up is called Bubbles. And then I also picked up a lip stain. I have one other shade in their lip stain, and I do enjoy the formula. The shade I picked up in this one is called Big Apple. This said new. It said new on the Ulta Beauty website, and I'm thinking maybe just the lip stains in general are new to the Ulta Beauty website. I don't know that this is a new shade released with this collection, but I wanted to try a red one, or kind of like a pinkish reddish toned. I thought that would complement the palette really well. So this is the one I got. And then I also picked up one of the shadow sticks, and this one is in the shade, it's called the Color Stick, I should say. And this one is part of the collection, and it's in shade Happy Days. So those are the items we are going to be trying out today. I will leave the rest of the makeup that I am wearing linked in the description box of this video, along with the products that I am trying out today. Some of those links might be affiliate links, so if you do end up purchasing, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. And I will most definitely have swatches of all of these products inserted before we get into the 2-look tutorial with the eyeshadow palette. So if you guys want to see the new ColourPop Sonic Bloom collection in action, keep on watching. So let's first go in with the lip stain. Again, this is in the shade Big Apple. Has a small little doe foot applicator. Okay, this is definitely a a Big Apple Red. Think it lives up to its name. So here is Big Apple. I do like the formula. I think it is a very comfortable formula. It is, I wouldn't say it's super long wearing, but you know, it definitely does a good job. It doesn't come off right away. And I like that it's not such an intense red. So now I'm dying to try out the Cheek Dew. I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. And it does come sealed. So I'm gonna squeeze some out. I don't know how much I need, but there is the shade Bubbles. So I'm gonna get my finger and I'm just gonna do that. And let's see how far that goes. I'm gonna use the Refer 04. I do have a little bit of bronzer on. I'm wearing the Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm. Okay, so that's definitely a light wash of color. I was thinking it was going to be way more intense, and I'm kind of glad that it's not, because this is really easy to blend out. So I still have some in the back of my hand. I'm just going to pick up a little bit with the brush. Ooh, that is a very pretty shade. I'm going to get my damp beauty sponge and just press over the edges. Okay, so that's definitely a nice sheer wash of color, and I definitely see the dew factor. Y'all are probably wondering, you know, why I didn't want to try this blush, since y'all know I love like a dewy finish, a nice like glow to my complexion, but I had just heard mixed reviews, and I don't know, there was just something about it that I didn't think I was going to like, but I'm liking it. So far, so good. I like this. I am very impressed with this Cheek Dew blush. Again, this is the shade Bubbles. I love it. I do want to note that I don't have any powder. I didn't have any powder on the perimeter of my face. I just went in with this cream bronzer from Soul Body. So I don't know that this is something that you necessarily want to apply on top of powder, just because it is more of a liquid consistency. I think it's different when it's a cream consistency, but with liquid, I would, if you can, I would apply the powder afterwards, just so that it doesn't lift the foundation or get cakey on you or anything like that. But I don't see that it messed with my foundation, and I don't see that it messed with the bronzer. So I like it, and I'm definitely going to be buying more of these Cheek Dews. All right, let's dive into the Sonic Bloom eyeshadow palette. I will be creating 2 looks for you guys. Now I do already have eye primer on. I'm using the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer. Now I do have a little bit of discoloration going on my lids. It's from the makeup I had on earlier today. So let's overlook that and let's just dive into this cute eyeshadow palette. Let's see, what do we want to do? I think I'm gonna start with this shade right here. This is called, is it Lunar Disco? Yeah, this is called Lunar Disco. And then I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This shade is called Eclipse Season. And I'm taking Lunar Disco on a BK Beauty 202. All right, so I did build this shade up quite a bit. And I think I just did that because of the redness I have on my lid, just to kind of take away from that. But I think it looks pretty good, and it built up and blended out just fine. Now I'm gonna go in with Eclipse Season, and I'm taking that on a BK Beauty 206. And I'm gonna be focusing that right in here into the crease and also on this outer corner. I like these two shades together. Really, really nice. No issues with blending with either of them. Okay, now let's see. What do we want to do next? We could go in with this one and then maybe do a little bit of this one in the inner corner. Let's try that. I'm going to pick some of this shade up with my finger. This shade is called Bloom. I like that. So there you can see what the shade looks like. I'm going to focus this right here on the middle portion of the lid. That is a very pretty shade, and it complements those other two matte shades very nicely. But now I'm going to get a damp brush, and I'm just going to kind of build it up ever so slightly. Same shade, but on a damp Morphe M124. Just to add some more shimmer, more accurate placement. Going in with a little bit more of this red shade, which is called Eclipse Season. Now for the inner corner, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and it's called Field Trip. I am going to spray that shade. This shade seems like one of those matte shades that has like that micro glitter in it. Take a closer look. Yeah, it's one of those shades. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this copper shade. I'm going to kind of just bring that in a little bit. It does make for a nice inner corner highlight, but I don't know that I necessarily like it with this look. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it's not what I was expecting. Okay, now let's do some lower lash line work. I'm gonna go back with Eclipse Season, and then I'm gonna kind of deepen it up with this shade right here. This shade is called Utopia. And I'm taking Eclipse Season on a BK Beauty 207. I'm gonna drag it down a little bit. And of course, connect it up here. Add a little bit more right here. Now I'm taking this little BH Cosmetics pencil brush with the shade Utopia. And I'm keeping that really close to the lash line. I like that. It really kind of made it a smoky lower lash line, which is what I wanted. Now I'm going to go back in with Field Trip, since that's the shade I have already. I'm just going to bring it down some. Yeah, this one is not my favorite. Not my favorite shade. I even got some fallout from that shade. Alright, so I'm going to do some liner and mascara, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look. Alright guys, so this is the completed look number 1 with the Sonic Bloom eyeshadow palette. I added, let's see, where's the stuff I used? Oh, right in front of me. I used the Flower Beauty. This is the Forever Wear Winged Liner, and this one is in the shade Dark and Stormy. It's just a dark brown shade. That's what I have on the upper lash line. And then for the lower waterline, I went in with the LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Liner in the shade Penny. I also added this right here to the inner corner to kind of brighten it up, give it more of a sparkle. And then for mascara, I went in with the latest one from e.l.f., and this is the Big Mood Mascara. And this is the completed look. I will say I feel like this gold shade, this copper shade, has kind of diminished a little bit as far as its shimmer. The matte shades I definitely like better than the two shimmer shades that I used. So just wanted to point that out. Let's jump over to the left eye and start creating the second look. All right, so what do we want to do here? I think I want to use this shade. and this shade. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start working this in the crease and kind of bring it down in the inner corner. And I'm really going to use this shade like on the outer and middle portion of the lid as well as in the crease. So I'm picking up this shade right here. This is Cosmos, and there's definitely some kick up in the pan. And I'm going to be focusing that right in here. I'm using a BK Beauty 205. And then I'm also going to work it into the crease, but slightly above. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This one is called Dig Deep, and I am going to be applying that to the lid and into the crease. So I'm going to start off with a BK Beauty 203. Wow, that is a pigmented shade. And I'm going to focus this right on this middle to outer portion. And then I'll grab another brush to blend it upwards. This is a nice shade. And I feel like it's packing on just fine. Now I'm going to start blending out the edges. I'm going to use a clean Rephr 13. Now I'm just picking up some more of this shade just to really focus it right in this area. You'll see that just by changing the brush, you can change the intensity of the shadow. This is pretty. These two shades together, they complement each other perfectly. I'm going back in with that first shade, Lunar Disco. Now I'm going to go in with the shade right here. This is called Verbena, and I'm not going to apply it with my finger. I'm just going to go in with my damp Morphe M124, and where do I want to place that? I'm going to start applying it on the center of the lid. So just right here. It's also going to kind of cover where those two shades meet. This is pretty. That's a really pretty shade. And over this blue, even over that first shade, looks really nice. So I think I just want to keep that shimmer shade in the center. I'm going to go back into Dig Deep, and I'm going to start working that on the outer portion of the lower lash line. And I'm taking this little BH Cosmetics pencil brush, and I'm just focusing it right here. Now I'm going to try using this green shade. This is called Hello Happy. I'm going to spray this brush. Actually, this shade might not be green. It has a shift to it. It's like a green gold shade. Ooh, wow. I like that. That's different. I'm going to add a little bit of Verbena. Same brush right here. I'm cleaning off this little pencil brush, and I'm going to go in with the first shade, Cosmos. I'm just going to apply some right under these other shades. All right, so I like it. I like the way this look came out. Let me add some liner and mascara, and you know what I just realized? We didn't use the color stick. Let me swatch it back here. This shade is called Happy Days. We'll have to try this one another day because, yeah, I don't think it would complement this look. So I'm going to add some liner, mascara, and then I'll be right back to show you all the completed look. All right, guys, so this is look number 2. What do you guys think? Let me tell you what I added. Of course, some more e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara. Now for the upper and lower lash line as well as lower waterline, I went in with the NABLA Cupid's Arrow Full Color Stylo. This is in the shade Arrow number 6. It's just like a dark navy blue liner. And I used a really small, really tiny, really cute little BK Beauty number 208 brush right there. That's what I used to line the lower lash line a little bit and to get right in here in the inner corner of the top lash line. And then I also went in with another LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Liner. This one is in the shade Gold Metal. And I added a little bit of that to this inner portion of the waterline and then right in here along the lower lash line and on that inner corner just to brighten it up a little bit. And it is perfect. Guys, you all know I love the LA Girl Shockwave liners. I have the black one here. Here's the one in Gold Metal. I just got a new shade. This shade is called Dragon. So I'm really anxious to open this one up. But I've always had really good luck with those and they're super affordable. They're only like $3 or $4 at Ulta. So definitely check them out. I will have both shades linked in the description box of this video. But now it's time for me to give you guys my final thoughts on this Sonic Bloom collection from ColourPop. So let's start first with, the first item that I used, and it was the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain in the shade Big Apple. Now I do have a water bottle right here, and as you can see, there's not really much rub off on here, and I've been drinking this throughout this entire video, so it's not too bad. It's definitely not going to provide an intense amount of pigmentation, but that's not really what a stain does. It's supposed to look a little bit more natural, just like a nice soft flush or wash of color while still giving you a bit more stain power. I do like these. It's a comfortable formula. This is the second shade that I have, and I can definitely see myself picking up more in the future. As far as the cheek dew, I'm going to say it right now, this is the standout product out of all of the ones I tried today. I don't know why I was so hesitant to try this one out, but I'm so glad I picked up this serum blush from ColourPop. Again, this one is in the shade Bubbles. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm also discovering, and this sounds just so weird, I'm also discovering the Super Shock blushes. I'm slowly adding more of those to my stash. I did order some items from the new Tinkerbell collection, and it's already been shipped out, so definitely stay tuned because I should have that video up towards the middle of next week, providing everything gets here on time. But there are definitely some blushes in that collection that I picked up. But yeah, these I like. I am so glad that I decided to give this a shot. Guys, as for the color stick, I know I wasn't able to use it in today's look, completely forgot about it, but I have swatched all of the ColourPop color sticks. I have the mattes right here, and then I also have the metallics. I've eye swatched all 16 of these, and so they are the same formula as this one is. This is a metallic one, so it would be in this bunch right here. So I'll have that video linked up above in case you want to check it out to see how they perform and see how they go on the eyes. But I had no reservations about buying this. I've obviously tried the other color sticks, and I know that they are a good formula, so I'll definitely be reaching for this in future looks. Now for the eyeshadow palette. Packaging is beautiful. Like, I love these shades together. There's just something about this shade in particular, especially if it's in a shadow. Love that like mustard yellow gold shade. Unfortunately, we really didn't see that shade in here, although kind of with this one, but not entirely. This is a nice color story. I think it's a very neutral color story while still giving you a little bit of color to play with. I don't know about the shimmers in here. I don't know that they're my favorite. I don't feel like they really last. Like that sparkle you initially get upon application, I feel like it diminishes a few minutes later. Let me know what you think about the eye looks and if you can see what I'm seeing with that. But even wetting them, spraying the brush, I still feel like I'm lacking some shimmer, you know? I guess this would be my favorite out of the ones I tried. The only one I didn't use was this one. The matte shades, I definitely love the matte shades more than I love the shimmers in this palette. This is my favorite matte shade. These two shades together, beautiful. This is my favorite look. Look number 2 is my favorite look. But you know, I think you have these shades already in other palettes, like the 2 I showed you at the beginning of the video. So it would be up to you whether you want to add this to your stash. I'll put it to you this way. If I didn't have this YouTube channel, I probably would not have picked this palette up. Just throwing it out there. So now it's time for me to hear from you. What did you guys think of this Sonic Bloom collection? Was it boring you? Is it catching your eye? Are there just certain pieces that you want to try? I think there are other pieces that were in the collection that I didn't pick up, or maybe I picked up one of each. I am not entirely sure, but things will be in the description box, so definitely check that out. Again, this is available right now on the Ulta Beauty website. To my knowledge, it is not available on the ColourPop website, but if it is, I'll have it linked in the description box as well. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.